I was born an indigenous seer and a medium. When I was 5 years old, I first experienced the spirit world. I saw my first spirit guide, and he spoke to me not in physical words, but in thoughts. I named him Grey Wolf because of his intense gray eyes, and he reminded me of a real gray wolf, fierce and fearless, which is why he resonated with who I would become. All of my maternal ancestors held back. They all feared their own power in their generation. I'm the next generation of the ones you couldn't wipe out. Spirits filled my world, so my mother came up with a plan to shut down my gifts. She tried to remove the strong spirits and invited a medicine man to smudge my bedroom. She told me to stop talking about seeing and hearing the noisy spirits and ghosts that showed up during the night because it scared her and my brother. I had to conform to keep the peace in the family. It was safer to be normal.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
I prayed to shut down the gifts and said goodbye to Grey Wolf. Before he left, he gave me steps to close the connection, and he made one final prediction. He said, "When you're ready, I'll come back, and your gifts will return." And with each passing night, my gifts would shut off one by one. It's safer to be normal became my mantra later on. Fast forward to Sejap. Here, I'm giving a tarot reading to a friend, and she becomes my first practice client, and she starts spreading the word. Her friends tell their friends, and so on. After sitting and watching the sacred fire for a few hours, I notice faces appearing. I realize that I'm the only one seeing the invisible. It's taboo to talk about spirits in Gescabeya, unless you're a male spiritual elder or a medicine man. Enter Stefan. I met this man on my 27th birthday at Bar Don Lynn's. He showed a very violent side, but I refused to accept him as he was. Eventually, things got worse. All of my personal relationships imploded, and I felt a big void and a yearning to reconnect with my spirituality. One day I said out loud, I need some help. I called a psychic on Hay House Radio and was led to Sonia. That phone call gave me hope. She told me I would become a spiritual teacher, a writer, and a psychic helping people. Those words really stayed with me and empowered me to stay on this indigenous journey and look towards the future. My escape plan begins to form. I finally leave with what I could fit in the car. A year later was the biggest turning point in my life. My grandmother was dying, and instead of going to her, I drank for 3 nights, non-stop. And my family was very, very angry with me. I realized I had hit rock bottom, and I decided to get sober. It was time. Every night I practiced meditating, lying down, and focusing on a spot on the wall. I committed to reviving my dormant gifts. A month into bringing my spirit back, an explosion of voices returned. Steady practice of meditation opens a door to Grey Wolf's world, just as he predicted. The spirit world talks back in a big way. There were signs everywhere. All the signs were telling me to leave my job as a school teacher. My soul was calling me back to teach and inspire in a new way. I began searching for a spiritual business mentor. I stepped into my soul's purpose and committed to being seen and heard. My indigenous business exploded. Today, I help intuitives and healers unleash their own indigenous intuition, channel their own gray wolf, and become a powerful seer and mystical mentor. How to tune into your psychic gifts, and finally become who they're meant to be. The elders used to tell us stories of how our people were once great healers and seers. They could see the future and help guide their village to safety. But then something happened. The elders say that our ancestors were almost wiped out by those who couldn't handle the power they wielded. We are the next generation of healers and seers, and we're not going to let you win. We have inherited our ancestors' gifts, and we will use them to protect our people. We will never be afraid of our power again.